Hi there and welcome to Andy Robinson RC. Cheers for checking out the channel today and joining us for this episode. Right, well, we've got stuff on the table which I will talk about in a minute. So, sorry I've not been around recently. It feels like a good while now since the last video I put out, which was actually on this chrome Grasshopper. It was about 7 days ago now. Unfortunately, I ended up getting COVID again. Second time I've had it now, and it wiped me out for a good few days. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm 100% yet, but I'm certainly better than I was. So I thought it was time to get another video out. So nothing sort of major has happened, but you know, a little few things. So I thought I'd sort of cobble this video together for you, just so I can say hello, touch base with you all, and have a little chat. But yeah, unfortunately, I ended up getting COVID and ended up having to cancel a racing event that we were doing last weekend. That had to be cancelled, and we're gonna have to reschedule that. So it all didn't go to plan. Anyway, and again later this week, literally the other day as well, I had some news that I was sort of half expecting it, to be honest. But I'm not going to go into it. It's not something I wanted to sort of discuss here, but it doesn't particularly bode well currently for the future of things. Anyway, that's a bit doom and gloomy and a bit vague, I know, but as I said, it's not something I'm going to discuss here. But anyway, so enough of that. Let's get on with this actual video. So cheers for tuning in, much appreciated. So what we got on the table? Well, we've got the Tamiya BBX on the table again. We've got the chrome Grasshopper that I saw in the last video. If you didn't see that one, I'll put a link into the description of this video. I've also got two cars that you've not seen before. Incidentally, they came off to the same gentleman, but at different times. I think I posted a picture of this up on my Instagram page. And literally this came the other day. So, what shall we go with first? Tell you what we'll go with first. I'll go with the chrome Grasshopper, and I can move that out of the way. So, yeah, it doesn't look a great deal of difference since you last saw it on here. But what I've managed to do is, I haven't hardly done anything this week with cars. Virtually done nothing apart from a very few tiny jobs, and most of that was yesterday because I actually felt like doing something. We've got the chrome spot lamps on now. We've got the all chrome driver figure in the car. I was debating whether to put a proper painted figure in or just go with the chrome driver just to match it all, really, and I've gone with that in the end. So I think it looks alright. I put the decals on the front lamps as well. So I've done all that, and I found a servo to go in it as well. Not that I've put that in yet. And I tell you what I did do, I swapped out the 380 motor, which I said I was going to do. And if you can see it, we've got a 541 in there now. Now I did have, it's sort of shame it's upside down really. Hopefully you can sort of see it. But what I've put in there is a Blockhead Motors 540. Now that I was saving it for something. I don't really know what I was saving it for, but it didn't go in my Hot Shot 2 Blockhead edition, so I kept it aside and thought I'll use it for something else. And I've decided to put it in this because also it had a very nice sort of black and chrome effect decal on it. So I thought it would sort of tie in nicely with this chrome edition Grasshopper. So we've got the Blockhead 540 motor in there. As I said as well, it's almost not going to be far off ready for running. I've got to put the servo in, do the tie rods, put an ESC in, and then apart from that, and a receiver, and we're pretty much good to go to get this running before it goes off to be displayed. So that's that one. So I'm going to move it out of the way just because I've got some more room. Okay. And then, ooh, I'm knocking everything over. Stay there. Okay, Tamiya BBX. Now, I've only had this once on the out on the channel, and that was after I got it off Richard from RLRC, and you know, I got it running, did my video on it so far, and then I haven't really had a chance to use it since. But I did come across the other currently released hop-up options for this. Because again, we've already got the slipper clutch fitted already, that I'm putting over there because it's sort of here. So I've done that. That was done because I sent it off to Richard, and Richard fitted it, and then ended up getting the car off him. And what I did do is I saw earlier in the week, I was just bored, lying in the bed, perusing. I can't remember where it is now. Was it? I don't know if I've got these off now. Might have been eBay. Anyway. A gentleman was selling the what do you call it? The alloy steering knuckles. So I'll show you these. The alloy steering knuckles and the aluminium servo posts. So they're the only sort of other genuine hop-ups for the car, really. I'm also, hopefully it might turn up today, I've got a spare wheel and tyre coming so I can mount on the back there. So that'll look quite cool. But anyway, if I just whip this off, there you go. So hopefully you can sort of see that a bit more now. You've got the alloy steering knuckle there. Dead easy to fit. Nice and smooth. Nice part. It's funny actually, because though it's a nice part, it doesn't look like Tamiya usually have quite a lot of sort of moulding detail within their castings and whatnot, and this doesn't have a lot of it. But you know, that aside, it's not going to affect the part. It'll do the job. But yeah, just compared to some of their parts, I thought it looked quite plain for them. But yeah, it went on totally fine, and I did give it a quick blast late last night just to see how it felt. Felt absolutely fine. Now, will it really make you feel any difference while driving it? Maybe it'll just, you know, shore it up a little bit, and it'll be a little bit more precise, the steering action. But to be honest, I'm not sure you'd able to be really tell with that. I don't think you'd suddenly go, oh yeah, it's brilliant now, it's totally changed it. So it was done just to be honest because I wanted to put the parts on the car really, and so I can show you as well. And yeah, it might make a tiny fraction of difference, but I don't think you're going to notice some, you know, a massive amount of steering performance. You're probably better off changing your servo for a better servo. That would give you more solid steering performance. Right, now this will be difficult to see because it's you've got the cowling from the bodywork, and then you've got the chassis, the servo that sits low down in the chassis. But I'll hold it up there anyway. And obviously your alloy servo mounts are down there. I don't think you'll really see that. Anyway, it's in there. They were a bit trickier to put in. Now, maybe it was the way I was doing it. But I got them in eventually. But they just felt like the holes that mounted up with the chassis to the post didn't seem to line up 100%. Now, it might have been the way I was putting it in, so it could have been that. But anyway, it got it all done. It's all sorted. That is very rigid now. That is not going anywhere. So yeah, I'll say it will do its job. There'll be no flex now from the servo through those posts where there might have been through the plastic post before. But yeah, I've driven it. Seems absolutely fine. I might take it out again later. So yeah, so that's where we're up to with the BBX. I'm waiting for a spare wheel to hopefully today, and then that'll go on, and then we'll just see what else happens to it, what else goodies they bring out for it. So again, for now, this one will just be an ongoing thing, I imagine. So that's the BBX. I've still got to do the window mesh and put the correct driver in, but I've still not done that yet either. Right, the other two things I can show you. Now, this is cool. Wanted one of these for a while. Now, in fact, I didn't even realise until earlier, actually, both of these cars I actually wanted to get for a while. And what reinforced the decision behind looking for them was, if you know, Luke's Vintage RC, excellent YouTube channel, loads of decent vintage RC cars on there, puts a lot of effort into his videos. Do check him out. Again, I'll put a link to Luke's channel in the video description. Anyway, Luke's had a Marui Hunter on the channel. It has a bit of a Hornet-esque look to it, I suppose. This was from 1984, so I believe. And this came up, and it was off Marketplace actually, and it looked in really good condition. You know, there was no, what I'd say, you know, really important pieces that were damaged or anything like that. Now, I have noticed on the battery little cover there, not battery, the driver, and I think it's like a receiver cover, or, you know, there, that there's a little tab just broken off where the screw goes in. That's not going to affect it. So there is that, and the owner, Darren, did say the body mount at the bottom of the chassis had been repaired, but he says it's nice and solid, and it does, you know, without putting tons of pressure on it, it does feel solid enough. But I was quite pleased. The rest of it looks in superb condition. So unfortunately, a lot of these Marui cars, they do tend to have broken, damaged bits, and they are not the easiest cars to get parts for on some of them, and some of them can be quite dear when you find them. Anyway, I was really chuffed to get this in this condition. Tyres are pretty damn good on it. There's a very slight flat spot there on this side, virtually nothing. It's in great condition. I do think I need to put the oil back in the rear shock. It had leaked a bit when it came, so I've got to do that. Otherwise, it is a case really of getting the radio gear in, and we've got, it was supplied with, now I've got the wing in a drawer, but there's a Team Blue Groove Repro body shell to go with it, and a set of MCI reproduction decals for the Hunter as well. So that's, I don't know when we're going to get around to doing it yet, but it shouldn't be too much of a project. It's a case of getting some radio gear in and spraying up the body and getting it all mounted on there. So, yeah, shouldn't be a major problem. So I'm looking forward to getting that one going. So that'd be cool. Looking forward to that. So, good stuff. So that's the Marui Hunter. And as I said, it's cheers to Luke, because he sort of confirmed the fact, reinforced the fact, that I really wanted to find one of these, as I do like the look of it. It's got a similar look to the Hornet, although it is a different layout in terms of where the motor is almost mid-motored this, with the way it is, and it's got slightly different front suspension setup. It's got inboard shocks, although they're inboard, but they're inside the chassis anyway. You know, it's just so it's got a different layout. It's got one shock. It's got like a mono shock at the rear as well. So, you know, a different layout, but it has a similar style and look, which is probably why I like it. So anyway, really pleased to get hold of a Marui Hunter. And then I've been after one of these. Now this is obviously this is basically a toy grade car. Now it's sort of, although it's not related to it, it's sort of the Tandy Radio Shack Golden Arrow's smaller brother. This is the Tandy or Radio Shack Red Arrow, and this came out in 1988. And also, it did actually come out before under a different name and slightly different manufacturer, and it was called Radicon, and they called it the Wild Fox. Slightly different livery on it, essentially the same buggy. And that came out in 1987. That was a Radicon Wild Fox, and then Nico got hold of this, and they produced it for Tandy and Radio Shack. So I'm led to believe. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. But yeah, the first iteration of this was the Radicon Wild Fox. Anyway, again, I fancied getting hold of one of these. Again, it's in rather good condition. Now, I got this at a steal, I think. I literally paid 25 quid for it. So, Darren, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Now, it doesn't work, or it doesn't work properly, but that is no problem. because what I'm going to do is I want to just put some cheap and cheerful modern electrics in there. Cheap and cheerful 2.4 gig radio system. I might swap out the 540 motor in and put something in, like, I don't know, maybe a Tamiya torque tuned or sport tuned motor, something like that, and put it like a Hobby Wing 1060 in there and a bit of a better servo, and just upgrade the electric so I can actually go and use it. But it is pretty cool. It's generally in fantastic condition. There are some some wear to the stickers. Might get in touch with the chap and see if he can make me some repro ones. Not sure yet, but Nostalgia RC, you can find them on Facebook and I think on eBay as well. And they do repro decals for like the Golden Arrow and various other sort of Tyco buggies and some of the cool toy grade buggies of the sort of 80s and early 90s. So that's what I've got in, and that's where I'm up to really. So now you know. So I wanted just to get a video out really and just touch base, say hello and let you know what's going on, and hopefully we'll the next video out, it's not a guarantee yet, I don't know, but it is looking like it'll be a running video of the Chrome Grasshopper. We'll have to see. We'll see what pans out. Or it might even be the Sportswork Raven buggy as well. Don't know. It's going to be something along those lines. Right. Okay. Cheers for checking this video out. Much appreciated, as always. Now, if you haven't already and you'd like to consider subscribing to the channel, please hit up Andy Robinson RC on YouTube. It'd be much appreciated. Got loads of past content and future content coming up. And also, you can come and join us on Facebook and Instagram under Andy Robinson RC. Right, I'm going before I probably cough a lung up or something. Anyway, look after yourselves. Take care. Cheers for checking this one out. And we'll see you all soon. Bye.